What is going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to the CovrPrice Weekly Top 10. Today we answer the age-old question, how many lords does it take to count to 10 backwards? Today that number is only 3. Our Manimal's got some internet issues, and I do believe Otto is perpetually camping.
He's a teacher during summer vacation, so he's off in the wilderness.
That's right, boys and girls. So before we kick this off, man, let me introduce you to a little DJ Curse.
Now let's do this. Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last. Yap, 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 yap.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here! We're back! Word up!
get stupid job.
You can't get fresher than this.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice.
Oh, how so?
I'll be too busy looking good.
Can't understand.
All right, once and for all, let me see it in the live chat. Which one do you like better? Do you like that one or do you like this one? So while we wait for you to congregate.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
Hold on and get some, boys.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 3 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
Laugh it up, fuzzball. In this you shall know that the Lord is
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this you shall know that the Lord is In this you shall know that the Lord is
Hold on and get some, boys.
Heck, here's the deal. I'm the best there is.
In this you shall know that the Lord is
What's in the box?
Like a spider monkey.
All right. So
Looks like they have spoken.
I think they like 2 better because maybe they're just used to it. Shout out to Hawaiian Punch 72. I actually named the name of the group's beat that I sampled the first 8 bars of. Rockmaster Scott and the Dynamic 3. That beat is from The Roof The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. Oh, sorry. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cover Price Top 10. I hope you're enjoying your sweltering day in the heat. I know most of you are probably dying of heat. We had that heat wave over a few days ago, but right now we're at a comfortable 84 degrees in Southern California. Where's it? Where you're at, Justin?
Man, it's 100 degrees here. And I said to Tim, I was like, man, let me do the live show for my pool. But he wouldn't let me do it. So I'm here chilling in the basement. So
what about you, Brian? How hot is it in Detroit?
It's a comfortable 77 degrees.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How the fuck did Detroit be more comfortable than everywhere else, man?
I'm kicking back, chilling.
Have you ever seen Kentucky Fried Movie?
Yes. Hilarious.
Oh my God, where he sentenced him to the sentence of "You're going to Detroit." All right, well, shout out to everybody in the tailgate that's been up in here for a good 30 minutes, man. Shout out to all y'all: Red Lodge Crow, Victoria Pigak, Lenny Cerna, Stay Puff 1983, our friend from Instagram, Gwen Howarth, Johnny Dakota, Sith Lord holding it down with the wrench, comic book pressing, Dollar Bin Fodder, another SoCal homie right there, Johnny Dollar Bin. Quixotic Comics, our friends from the Great North, Man Cave Comics, Jeff Hernandez, Jay Salsa, Johnny Boy, Spider-Man Comics, Universe X, Sid Hale, Bilbo Hauser. I always like saying that. Manuel Diaz, again, Hawaiian Punch, Mr. Unknown Comics Guy, Sergio Reyes, and the list goes on and on. There's 80 of you now. I tried to give you guys all a shout out before, but we couldn't do it. So this week's list is pretty unique, man. There's some interesting stuff in there. And if you've been reading the tea leaves as we do every week, you can kind of follow on if any type of news drops, and pretty much people are going to buy that comic. But before we get any further, man, this show is brought to you over our friends at CovrPrice.com. This list is compiled off of sales data from about 4 or 5 different sites like Comic Connect, Comic Link, My Comic Shop, eBay, and Comic Heritage. This is the weekly top 10. The show right now, they wanted to tell you that if you are subscribed to them already, there is a chance to enter to win a really cool, rare comic book. That's right. Go over to CoverPrice.com. I'll put the link in the description, the video description. There is a cool giveaway for this one. Well, there's only 25. It's a virgin variant for no heroine, the Templesmith metal variant. Right now, they're selling on eBay for about $485.
Wow.
Right there. I'll put it in the click on that
It's just
link.
because there's 25 copies, or is there something else?
No, it's just rare.
It's very rare metal print. That's cool.
And this is from his personal collection.
Wow, very cool.
The author. So even if you're not a subscriber, you can join and do a 2-week free membership, and you can sign up to get that cool book right there, man. Also, the show is sponsored by our friends at KRS Comics. Go to KRS Comics, use the discount code of LOTLB, and these are coming soon. I believe the Natalie Sanders Harley Quinn variant is tomorrow, right, Justin?
no, that one's Saturday.
Saturday. So they're gonna just follow KRS Comics on Instagram throughout the week. They're gonna be posting, because if we were in normal times, tomorrow would be the first day of San Diego Comic-Con. So Witchblade is a Tyler Kirkham variant, and that will be available on tomorrow. They already had a Clayton Crane Venom variant that was yesterday. So use the discount code of LOTLB and get these dope KRS Comics exclusives. I always tell you, set a timer, because whenever they go on sale, they'll sell out, and they sell for at least quadruple the price on eBay. Pretty much everything does nowadays. Also, the show is sponsored by our friends over at the Geeky Swag Shop. Use discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the Geeky Swag Shop. We are trying to fulfill the orders for t-shirts right now, so make sure you get your t-shirts in. I think we need about 10 more to fulfill the pre-order, and there are face masks. I see a lot of people using these gaiters on the make sure whenever you use them, make sure you tag us on Instagram so we can give you a shout out, man. Becoming blue and black, and only the Lords have the red variants. That's right. Also, one more time, our friends at Rocket Comics. Go to Rocket Comics, send them the Lords Alarm Box or 3 Men in the Basement sent you, and get 20% off your first pressing order. No maximum or minimum order. 1 book, 20 books, 50 books, boom. You get 20% off your first order. And then whenever you come back, just mention us and you'll get 10%. But the first order is always 20%, and they do great work. Our friends over Rock Comics, trying to keep our friends in business during these times in quarantine. Times are tough out there, man. It's kind of hot out there for a pimp. Speaking of being hard out there for a pimp, let's get right to it, boys and girls. So this is the top 10. And as every week, there's a couple of outliers that don't crack the top 10. And what's interesting is we got a special one this week. At number 11, would you look at that? Runner-up is
Ooh.
JSA Secret Files #1. And the reason why this is on the list is because there was a bit of casting news that we talked about. I want to say we talked about this back in November, I think. Let me see. Look at that. All-Star Squad, the first appearance of Obsidian and Atom Smasher. We dropped this on our long-term spec list on November 27th, 2019. Let me play you an audio clip from that very show. What's next?
Next up is All-Star Squadron number 25. This is the first appearance of Obsidian and Atom Smasher as Nuklon.
Because there's actually multiple versions of Atom Smasher. All-Star Squadron number 25, our first Bronze Age book, first appearance of Obsidian and Atom Smasher. Last sold 9.8, $115. 90-day GPA is 90 on a 9.8 is 118. All-Star Squadron has always been one of those goofy teams that I liked when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I like Justice Society, like All-Star Squadron, and remember the Freedom Fighters that had that crazy Uncle Sam. Look how young Ryan sounded back in the day. Wow,
so peppy and happy.
Pre-COVID.
Like,
what happened to you, jaded bastard?
The
Anywho,
world,
so there was casting news reported by Variety, and if you've been watching The Lord since last year, we've been talking about how Justice Society is coming. We had a long list of characters, so look back at that video from November and start buying up the rest of them. A lot of them are Golden Age characters that are already kind of expensive, but we tried to find as many of these kind of interesting books of characters or newer versions of it. And the reason why we chose All-Star Squadron number 25 over JSA Secret Files. JSA Secret Files is technically the first appearance of Atom Smasher, but the first appearance of Albert Rothstein is in All-Star Squadron number 25. So those are two great books to look out for, and that's what we picked. But either way, a cat named Noah Centineo has been cast to join Dwayne Johnson in a Black Adam for DC. What's interesting is a New Line movie, not Warner Brothers. Well, I guess New Line is part of Warner Brothers. The article notes that Centineo will be playing Atom Smasher. His alter ego is Albert Rothstein. Albert's first comic interaction had the moniker of Nuklon, which is All-Star Squadron number 25. So as soon as this news dropped, 19 copies sold, had a 7-day trend of 245%, had a high sale of 129 for the CDC 9.8. So there you go. What did we tell you, man? Just look. All you have to do is pay attention to what's going on social media, and you can kind of guess what books are going to be hot. Because right now, you know, especially leading up to San Diego Comic-Con, I have a feeling you're going to get a lot more news dropping. So just get your eBay ready and pounce on them as soon as you hear them, because it's that hot. Last year, this time last year, San Diego Comic-Con, what if the female Thor book exploded, and Big To Do told me he was at Hall H, and as soon as they announced Natalie Portman was going to be back, he said everybody inside Hall H went on their phones and started buying up that What If Thor book, right? It's kind of amazing, but that is the cycle of the beast and the game that we play, boys and girls. So number 11 on the list is JSA Secret Files. Number 1, the first appearance of Atom Smasher. The first appearance of Albert Rothstein is All-Star Squad number 25 as Nuklon. So, all right, let's get right to it, boys and girls. Justin, what do we have for number 10? Is it a Donny Cates book?
Yeah, it is actually. Venom number 3. This is the third printing variant, and as we all know, Noel's pretty hot right now. And what's funny, we're going to get into this. Is my, what's funny about this book is Tim's always talking the past couple of months of him selling all these hip hop variants a little too early. You know what? Here's my gripe. I had a 9.8 of this book.
Yeah.
Sold it for under $300 at the last 3 Men auction. But and now look at what it is. Last sold in a 9.8 was $875.
The one you sold for 300 probably.
Oh, yeah, probably. But so, of course, first appearance of Noel, first cover appearance of Noel as well. Did sell 35 copies last week, had a 7-day uptrend of 144%. And like I said, man, this thing is close to $1,000. There is not a lot of copies out there. This did go 3 printings. This is the best looking cover. So get it while it's hot, man.
I have one left. I have the scan variant left, but
same.
The scan variant doesn't have Null on the cover, but it does have a badass. I don't know who it is. Some symbiote with wings or some shit. Shout out to my man Mikey Sutton. He's in the live chat. Try not to bombard him with too many questions, guys. He wants to eat dinner. But so over under in the live chat, we're gonna set it at 3. How many Kate's books do you think are on the top 10? So over under 3. Go ahead and put your guess in. So we already got one down. So number 10 on the list is Venom number 3. What's interesting is this is the Ryan Stegman 3rd print variant. So let's get right next to one. And
he's a Michigan guy, Ryan Stegman.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's the much cooler of the two. Did I say that out loud? Hey, shout out to Donnie Cates. Number 9 on the list is a book that's still hanging on, man. Look at that. Ultimate Fallout number 4.
How many weeks has this been on, man? Like
4 weeks?
5 at least. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing, man. So obviously everybody's still hot. Anybody who hasn't had a copy is trying to get copies, or people are trying to hoard more copies. 53 copies sold. I had a 7-day trend of 97%. I had a high sale of $11.50 for a CGC 9.8. I think we've seen it go as high as $12.50 and as low as $10.50. I think right now this is no longer a 3-digit book. This is now a $4-digit book, meaning
you know the messed up thing. That's how much I spent when I bought a first Supergirl, for Christ's sake.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? They said that they want to do a movie version of her. So, there's that. But
yeah, not a 9.8 though. It was a 3.5.
Well, you still have Detective Chimp.
Yes, I do. Yes,
that's
I
right.
do.
And we were talking about
that in to get graded.
Detective Chimp is on his way to the DCEU.
That's awesome.
If you didn't know,
I am
he's going to be
excited.
in Justice League Dark, and that's
one of my favorite characters.
So number 9 on the list is Ultimate Fallout number 4. Just the regular old copy, man. Still trudging along from 2011. All right, number 8 on the list is, you guessed it,
another Donnie Cates book. How about that?
Just a different Donnie Cates character this time.
Yeah, this is Venom number 9. This is the first full appearance of Dylan Brock. As you guys know, he first appeared in a cameo in issue number 7, but this is his first full appearance. The cover A is really the one that's selling the best. Did sell 32 copies last week with a 7-day uptrend of 176% and a high sale. Fortunately, no 9.8s. Sold a 9.6 last week for $120. There's definitely a couple variants out there, but anything that Cates is touching, everybody wants somebody. So if it's not Virus, if it's not Null, hey, Dylan Brock, he's coming down the pipeline. So this is the book right now, guys. Is Venom number 9.
He's kind of been around though. He's the son of Eddie Brock. What's the spec on it? Maybe you or somebody in the live chat, they're trying to connect him to.
So in the story, he's been touching the symbiote powers a little bit throughout all these issues, and even like some of these one shots that they've had him in with him and Normie Osborn. So he's got that, the symbiote codex, but he hasn't actually shown where he can turn into it, because him and the character Sleeper, who was introduced in First Host, they kind of work together. But you haven't seen him completely go full symbiotic character.
So
yet.
he hasn't symbioted up yet. So people are expecting that, or somehow thinking he's going to be a new character. And I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Case to somehow make Dylan Brock a new hero. I'm reading Venom 23 right now. I'm still getting caught up, and it's part of Venom Island. And then he's having these weird dreams where Dylan is talking to Null in his dreams. So about, obviously this is Venom 23. So this is already teasing when, the Null is coming to Earth to fight all the Avengers. And as we know, that's coming in December, and it's called The King in Black. So there you go. Number 8 on the list is Venom number 9, the first appearance of Dylan Brock. All right, number 7 on the list is, hey, look at that. I did not think this book was going to stay on for another week.
Interesting.
But good job to you guys, man. It just shows this is a really great flick,
Must be a great movie, yeah.
It is a good one. It's one of the better Netflix originals out there. I mean, Netflix originals used to suck. But then, like if you think about Bright is like the biggest Netflix movie that had come out to that time, and the one with Will Smith, and it was like lukewarm. But then the one with Hemsworth was pretty good. What was that called? Help me out here. He was like a mercenary.
Yeah.
That one was pretty good. And the Russos just announced that they're doing a spy flick with Chris Evans and somebody else, which is supposed to be the biggest budgeted Netflix movie of all time. All original, not based on the comic book. But The Old Guard, number 1, had 42 copies sold at a 70 trend of 136% and a high sale of 153 for a CDC 9.8. And I know I'm sure most of you have seen it. So I think the reason this book is continuing to grow is once people saw the film, they saw that there was a sequel teased at the end of it. I don't want to give too much away, but it sounds like quite possibly, I mean, it's pretty damn popular. And right now we don't have movie theaters to go to. So anything new on Netflix that's coming out, people are watching like crazy. Amazon Prime is doing that. So I still have to watch Cursed. I heard some mixed things about it, but to be honest with you, it's like if you're starving and there's bad pizza, you're not going to eat it. Of course.
Hey, I mean, I've never really had a pizza I'd spit out.
You swallow everything, don't you? All right. So
gross.
Number 7 on the list is The Old Guard, number 1 from 2017. All right. Number 6 on the list is.
This is a new one here, guys. TMNT, The Last Ronin, the Ashcan. I think this is our first Ashcan on here. So this just came out last week. It sold 16 copies. It did have a 7-day uptrend of 360%. Had a high raw sale of $53. As you know, Ashcans are usually 1 per store at your local comic shops, and typically it's given away as a free for the person that's buying that book. So last week was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 106, but I'm sure people either got that for free or LCS people, they sold it. So for those who did get it, they were happy, seeing the selling price for $40 with the highs of $50. It's now selling for only $20 as it's been coming to the market. But the Last Ronin series could be a major hit. We definitely are excited about this one because everyone's kind of guessing who's going to be of the Turtles, the Last Ronin.
What is Ashcan?
It's
Ashcan's
a small
mini comics.
What is it?
It's like a little mini comic.
Oh, so it's tiny. It's like a small,
correct.
tiny
Yeah,
booklet.
It's a little bit bigger than a postcard.
Yeah, and they're typically used as promotional items. Like you used to be able to get them at cons and whatnot.
Yep.
I'm trying to think what's the famous one. The what was that one? Mouse Guard.
Yeah.
Well, Mouse Guard was already small. It was never made like a full size comic, was it? So I guess it's not fair.
I think it's like a hardcover. Even.
Yeah, go to recalledcomics.com and you go see like all the rare Ashcans that come out. So that's pretty cool, man. Cool. So right now, the mystery of the Last Ronin is they haven't said if he's a new turtle or if he's in one of the existing turtles.
Correct.
Because he has all his weapons on his back, so he has every single turtle's weapon on his back, so that's why they're trying to throw you off, I guess. Spider-Man Comics asks, "Is New Mutants really coming to Disney Plus September 4th?" Well, that's the rumor, and we don't have a show tomorrow, so maybe we could talk about it today. Australian commercial actually put out a commercial for New Mutants, and it said coming to Disney Plus on September. Myself and Mikey have been talking about it. That we at first reported that it looks like it was going to be inevitable that New Mutants is coming to Disney Plus, but there's a New Mutants panel at the virtual San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, and I would say if it's coming out on video on demand on VOD, this would be the perfect time to announcement. You would have the most eyeballs watching. You literally have your audience held captive. I mean, you can't go anywhere. You're waiting for stuff. I have a feeling the San Diego Comic-Con is going to be very interesting. Everybody's going to be logging in to see it. So I think it's just release it already. Give us something to watch.
True.
And if you put on Disney Plus will get new subscribers that will just, you know what I mean? And give a nice boost since everything is kind of down right now. So, because Disney Plus is really hurting for new content because of the shutdown, them more so than others. Others have kind of had some stuff, but I mean, we got the Mandalorian and then, everything. Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to come out. That's been pushed back. So give us New Mutants, man. I just want to see Ilyana, Rasputin, and the Soul Sword. That looks badass, man. So who knows, man?
Quixotic said that you would watch Muppets wrestle. That's how starved for entertainment
serious.
You are.
Dude, I have gone through everything on Amazon Prime, on Netflix, anything. I'm watching baseball at least now with nobody in the audience. It's kind of weird, but
that shit is funny.
It is. At least they're pumping in like fake sounds, because this really will test what's going on. But Eddie, they did it in Korea for a long time, and they actually have fans back in the stands now.
Now,
so hopefully...
I'm not a wrestling. Well, I used to be, but I haven't watched it in a very long time. I saw or I heard that they are. They're still doing like Raw and things, but there's no fans.
They've been doing it. It's
all on TV.
Yeah, they've been doing it, and
but there's no fans or anything. There's like no excitement.
It's just, and it's whack. It's absolutely whack, dude. Because wrestling is all about
excitement and pop, right? I mean,
and yelling and booing. Yeah. It's just weird. And then
that's weird. That's weird.
Because a lot of times they're talking to each other to say, "Hey, man, block this," and then push me. You know what I mean? So it's like,
right.
It's like it's part of the script. So now it's just weird. Some things you need audience interaction, like golf. I can watch that with no volume at all. Yes, I'm watching golf, for God's sakes. I mean, that's how bad things are getting. So by all means, if we have to watch wrestling with no audience, give us the New Mutants. God damn it. That's what all I'm saying. All right. Well, halfway there, boys and girls, and it's 6:26. So number 6 on the list is a brand new book from IDW TMNT, The Last Ronin Ashcan. All right. Number 5 on the list is, unfortunately, Catwoman, number 23, but it's a dope cover. It's a dope cover by Wu Chu Lee.
It is a dope cover.
This is the variant. And the reason why this sold is because of some spec that came out a while ago when everybody started buying. If you bought this for Snowflame, then shame on you. For Snowflame, it's still whack, but it's also the first appearance of Catgirl. So this particular variant sold 37 copies, had a 7-day trend of 161%, had a high raw sale of $30. The author, Blake Norcutt, has officially brought back Snowflame to the modern day DC. This should get interesting. Like I said, this is also the first appearance of Catgirl on the cover inside, but not named. I have a feeling Catgirl has more legs than Snowflame. I don't know.
It's funny on the back. If on the panel you see the back of his car, his license plate says "Blow Hard."
Oh Jesus!
Blow. Wink.
And he's still stuck in the 80s. He's dressed like the Beyonder from the original Secret Wars comic, right?
Yeah.
He's got like this horrible suit with like really big shoulder pads, and he looks dead on like the Beyonder. And he's just a goofy character. I mean, it'd be interesting to see where they would go with the whole drug use thing. I mean, surely that can't exist in this day and age of comic books, right?
I can't imagine.
Because I mean, if you didn't know, his original, he has like some type of cocaine-powered superpowers, which is even ridiculous for when it came out in the 80s or 90s, whenever it came out. But to even think that, but anyway, Catwoman number 23, the Wu Chu Lee variant, is still an incredibly dope cover, though. I really dig that. I love how on some of DC's book they have really small logo and font for the title, so it gives more room for. I mean, it's almost looks like a Virgin variant, but it's not. But it's still very dope, man. I love all these comic cover artists.
I like the lens flare. The lens flare on there is pretty cool. Very J.J. Abrams.
Got little cats in the background, and you see the bat symbol in the back.
Yeah, I did. I noticed that. That's cool.
All right, so number 5 on the list, Catwoman number 23, the Wu Chu Lee variant. All right, number 4 on the list is a book that I've really been bullish on.
Yeah, I think you should take this one, Tim. You're a big Strange guy, so why don't you tell us?
You are a strange guy.
All right, I am strange, but I will let you do it since.
All right, so number 4 is Strange Academy number 1. Man, this is definitely a long-term.
Is that a little Dormammu right there?
Pretty much, yeah.
It is
long-term.
His name is Doyle, dude.
Doyle.
So give you guys a little heads up. This one sold 54 copies last week, 7-day uptrend of 118%. High sale and a 9.8 for cover A, $200. So when it came out, this was like a no-brainer to buy. There's tons of first appearances. There's Emily Bright. There's Doyle Dormammu, Shiley Moon Petal, Zoe Lavu, Calvin Morris, and Dizzy. And with all of that in the crazy market around Spider-Verse characters, collectors are speculating that have their eyes on Strange Academy as the next book to speculate because, Doctor Strange is a great character. So, the next thing could be Strange Academy instead of the Spider-Verse. So granted, this will take a while to get some traction on the characters, but, just like the Young Avengers and Agents of Atlas, which is another book that Tim's been hoarding, it does, like I said, have a bulk of first appearances and is a long-term hold. And there are some nice little variants. You got the Campbell out there. There's the what's the other one? The Peach Momoko one with
shout out to my man Quixotic Comics to send me the raw Peach Momoko variant for number 1.
I know. Now I feel like I'm gonna have to get these.
So I also got number 2. There's a 1 in 25 variant for number 2 that's hot right now as well. And great book. And this was one of those books that came out right before the shutdown. It had literally no time to breathe or get kind of hot with the hot new characters. And I think people are finally catching up to it. There's potential that if you make anything strange, Doctor Strange related, that it had potential to be Disney Plus related. This is obviously more of like a Xavier School of magic users, Strange Academy. Brother Voodoo is a teacher. I think, Doctor Strange. So it's one of those cool books. And like you said, new Agents of Atlas. Young Avengers are these team books that are modern that have 3 or 4 first appearances, and they're great to spec on. I mean, it's inevitable at least one of them will catch on, if not Doyle, Dormammu, who not? I mean, you
Doyle.
know,
I love it, Doyle.
Doyle.
And I love the sweater vest.
I mean, if you think about it
and
now,
and the shirt and tie, it's great.
Ever since Harry Potter, there's been a lot of like magical stories and things. If you think about like the Magicians, there's a couple of shows that are basically based on that. There's one show on Netflix right now I'm watching where it's a school of magic users that are evil, and these 3 werewolves are trying to fight them.
The Order, maybe?
Is it called, I think it's called. Yeah, I think it's called The Order. And you know what?
Yeah.
I've been watching it. It's on the 2nd season. The 2nd season just started. So
and even Deadly Class. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
school that you know, that's still going. I mean, this is what's really fun. Like you said, Harry Potter was a great series. So why can't this be a series in the long term on Disney Plus or something?
I think it's
That'd be
perfectly
great.
primed for Disney Plus, right?
Mhm,
Get the some
100%.
kids go through, and it can be a weekly episodic thing. I mean, you have Xavier School, and then you remember you had a basically there was an Avengers Academy, so now why not an academy for magic users? So there you go, Strange Academy #1, and this is just a regular cover. Like any new Marvel or DC books, there's tons and tons of variants in this one. There's no exception to that. There's a J. Scott Campbell, the aforementioned Pete Pomoko, she's the hot thing right now. So there's also some other ones people out. There's a ton on eBay right now, but this is just the regular cover. We're not even talking the variants yet. I think
Who's the artist on this? It looks like Dustin Nguyen, but I know it's not.
No, it's not. It's Opana.
No, I think it's Ramos. I think it's
Humberto Ramos.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Humberto Ramos, Opana, one of those guys. It's got that old school, almost graffiti style, the way they draw characters' faces. But Strange Academy #1 in at #4. It's kind of interesting because it's been out for like 4 or 5 months, and all of a sudden it's popping now. But there you go. Maybe people are just catching up to it. All right. So if you've been paying attention at home, there's been 2 Donny Cates creations on the list. I wonder if one's going to show up in #3. Would you look at that?
Wow. This was on last week too.
That's right. This is Thor #5, the first appearance of the Black Winter. Sold 61 copies, had a 7-day trend of 138%, had a high sale of $349 for a CDC 9.8. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
This is the first. This is the first appearance of the Black Winter, who is big in the Thor storylines right now. Spoiler alert, apparently Galactus was once a herald of the Black Winter. And apologies for last week when I kept on confusing Black Winter and Null because they're all written by Cates. And for some reason, somehow, I think he's going to connect them. I just think he's somehow going to connect.
Are you speculating that?
I just think the Black Winter is going to fight Null in some crazy way. I don't know how he's going to do it, but Cates is going to try to tie it all.
Universe-ending thing, and then they reset.
And then Cates is going to start his own Catesverse or something like that.
There you go.
There you go. Still a dope cover, man. So right now, Thor #5, and this is just a regular cover. You guys trust me. There's tons of variants. There's second prints and third prints. This is one of those books too. This came out right after the shutdown, right, Justin? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it came out just last month. And it's crazy. There's already a 9.8. So it's like someone literally sent that to CGC, fast-tracked it to get it back, hopefully a 9.8.
$349 for a book that came out like 2 weeks ago. I would say 3 weeks ago. This was when like one of the first books that came back when Marvel was shipping again, I remember. So I never even got a chance to get it because I wasn't paying attention, but
Somebody
it's going. Well, like you said, Cates is a master. You know, the thing is, he hasn't been hyping this nearly as much as he's been hyping up Null. So it's kind of amazing that Black Winter is still on this list. So #3 on the list is Thor #5 from 2020. I mean, literally like a month ago. All right. So #2 on the list is an interesting book as well. And it's not what you think. So far, we've had 3 Cates books on the list. Let's see who is right on the over-under. What's #2, Justin?
Oh, Catwoman #23. This is the regular cover, guys. And like Tim said, first appearance of Catgirl, but really it's also being pushed that we talked about this months ago of Snowflame. I do actually like this book. You know why? The interiors are all done by Sean Murphy. So if you guys know him, he did all the Batman, White Knight and Curse of the White Knight. I mean, it's a really interesting storyline inside. But as far as Catwoman #23, it did sell 47 copies this past week. 7-day uptrend, 228%. High sales are going for $25.
And this does have Catgirl on the cover, so that makes it a little bit better, I think, in my opinion.
Is that her up on the tree?
I think so. I think
Yes.
so.
Mhm.
So who is? So they haven't named her yet, right? So she disappears.
Yeah, you
Is
really
that
just
true?
see her.
So why are they naming her Catgirl already?
Probably just
Speculation.
like
Oh,
a
God.
placeholder name.
I
you know
hope
what I
they
mean?
name her soon, or else it's going to be one of those things where she's first shown, then she's first
Right.
shown talking, and then
Right.
she's first named.
DC
and then
is
she's named.
really bad at that kind of stuff.
Well,
We've got a lot of those kind of books.
well. When did the Snowflame book pop up on this list? Because
Like at least a month.
there was the reason I got hot because there was a preview that said Snowflame was coming back, and then people
Said
bought
something
it.
about his auction.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Snowflame literally could be gone within the next issue.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah,
everybody,
so-
because when we talked about it, that all the people that bought up that Snowflame book, are now are picking up this book just to have. So
Yeah, well, you got to see where it goes, right? So be careful on this one, guys. I don't know. Maybe we were talking. I was thinking Catgirl probably has a lot more legs than Snowflame does, right? I mean, that's at least what I think, because I don't think Snowflame's going to be around for too long. He may OD on cocaine and die in the next issue. But number 2 on the list, regardless, is still pretty cool. Catwoman number 23 is number 2 on the list. And number 1 on the list, if you've been playing a gong at home, and the over-under is, you guessed it, Venom number 25, the second print.
That is a cool cover.
And so that is 4 Kate's books to show up on the top 10. This sold 79 copies, had a 7-day trend of 252%. Had a high sale for $125 for a CDC 9.8. And who is this the first appearance of, Justin?
Virus, because
Virus.
or they don't really know the characters like on the front. They're really saying that it's some new character who they haven't really talked about yet. So
that's the thing about some of Kate's books. People really like just guess. I remember the Necrosword and the ties to. Am I correct in assuming that was that back in an old Thor book where they were talking about the Necrosword and how the Necrosword was connected to Null and everything? But either way, boys and girls, you guys love you some Kate's hype, and Kate's is now hyping this up. I have for some reason I only bought one of this, and I bought the all black cover because I thought it would be cool to get somebody to sketch on it. So we shall see. So this supposedly is the first appearance of a character named Virus. Is that him on the cover? Beside Null, that looks like a bad Joker.
No, that's not him.
The big face.
The big face is Null. The guy in the middle is the new character that they're kind of talking about, but there's no name for him. He's on a bunch of variants for 27, I want to say.
Yeah,
but nobody really knows. But it's a wraparound cover. So anything right now, it was just there's a second print. I think there was a 1 in 25, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure someone will say it in the chat.
Yeah,
but,
Quixotic Comics says Virus is on the back.
Yeah. He's on that back, the backside of the wraparound cover done by Segment.
Yeah.
So.
And Manuel Diaz said, "Go where the God Butcher wielded the Necrosword." Thank you. There's like I said, man, somehow, some way, they're all connected. Dark Winter, Black Winter, Winter Knights, Metal Knights, Heavy Metal, everything. Donny Cates is connected to DC. Everything. I just feel anything he does. I mean, other writers and artists, man, should take note of what Donny Cates does, and you'll sell more copies too, man.
Yeah.
This book literally came out 2 weeks ago, and it's already on. And this is the second print. Because people are snatched up the second print, more than guaranteed you'll have a third print and a fourth print and a fifth print. I know. Kudos to Ryan Stegman too, for I'm pretty sure it's his, illustrations that are making.
He's a great artist. I love Spider-Man. I discovered him on that what was it? Superior Spider-Man run. That's where I first discovered his art. Awesome.
A couple of cats like Dollar Bin Fodder, Quixotic Comics are talking about how it's a character named Codex.
Yeah, they haven't really.
I talked about Codex before because somebody made a joke that it was tampon, Codex, whatever.
Well, the whole thing with Absolute Carnage was anybody who's ever carried the symbiote has carried what's known as the Codex. So in Absolute Carnage, all the 1 in 25 variants were called the Codex variants. So that's kind of what this is all about. Like, is that the guy's name? Anybody who's held this.
More like the symbiote gene is the Codex.
Yes. Well, yeah, exactly that. But that's what it is. So it would be crazy to think that this character actually first appeared in Absolute Carnage.
So kind of like the Superman gene in Man of Steel.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I wonder where you got that from.
All right, so let's see. I'm gonna Google first appearance of Codex, and that's actually it actually points to a Terrigen Codex for Inhumans, which is interesting. So I don't see any actual character named Codex. But like I said, man, I think right now, if you're a good social media marketer type person, your comics will sell, and Donny Cates knows how to sell them. But
and he's a good writer. I mean, he does write well. People wouldn't read it if he didn't. So
yeah, the Thor 5 reviews, I was reading some of them today, and a lot of them were just saying it was meh. Because here is the love him or hate him. The problem sometimes Cates has is he has a tendency to build up hype that doesn't live to it. And I think most comic book creators are kind of guilty of that, right? They build this massive story and then it just kind of putters at the end, right? Because they didn't expect, they plan like a giant mini series and it just ends, right? If you think about the second Secret Wars, where it just went on and on forever and ever. And I think that's what happens with both DC and Marvel. They do these giant company-wide crossovers, right? And then they want to sell more books, so they say stretch it out, give us a one shot, tell us all these stories, and then us as the consumer, we buying them all, and then we're just like, that was it, that's how it ended. For you old kids out there, the whole who shot JR thing is what started all this. It was just a dream. It was just a dream.
Just a dream all along.
There's like 80% of the audience
or time travel. That's the new just a dream.
They're like, what the fuck is Dallas and who's JR? It's like, come on, boys and girls. All right. Thanks for joining us. I will be back Thursday for Letters from the Long Box. It's starting to get a lot of people asking good questions from our man Mikey Sutton. Before you leave us today, make sure you go hit up our friends at CovrPrice.com and you can get yourself a cool cover. Let me drop it in here again. Once again, CovrPrice is doing a cool giveaway where you can get a No Heroine #1 Templesmith metal variant, limited to only 25 copies. You're actually getting some of his personal copies from the artist. Go to CovrPrice.com. Actually, don't go to CovrPrice.com, but you need to be signed up for a CovrPrice.com membership in order to enroll, and it's free. There's the link in the live chat. Click on that. And if you're not a subscriber, you can sign on for a 2-week free trial. And if you don't like it, you can cancel it after 2 weeks. But I'm guessing you will like it because it's not only cheap, but it's very handy tool to have. So go out and get that. Any last words, Nemesis Prime?
Yeah, I have a video dropping tomorrow for my final video from the Connecticut Comic Crawl. This is an all Star Wars comic haul, basically. So see that on 3 Men in a Basement. And then Otto will be having another video dropping later in the week. And then we just have a live show next week. So that's all I got. Thanks, guys, for watching tonight.
Ryan?
I am slowly but surely getting together books for our next auction. Hopefully we're having that. When did we say, Tim?
July 31st.
July 31st or August 1st.
A week from Friday or that Saturday, depending on
I'll be coming strong.
I don't know. There seems to be 3 auctions a day, so we're just trying to figure out where we can fit in.
Hey, if you'd like. We have good books. You know we do.
Oh, yeah.
Should we do it on a Friday night or
I think
Saturday?
we should do it on I think Friday nights have always done well for us.
Yeah.
Started around 10 p.m. or 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. East.
People got multiple windows. They can leave them open.
There you go. People going back and forth. So
you go on your phone, go on your computer.
Yeah, I got a bunch of comics too, and I don't even have slabs, but I got a bunch of raw stuff that I need to make room. So look for either. So we'll start talking about it soon. So, but be prepared for July 31st or August 1st for the next Lords of the Long Box comic book option. We normally do these once every couple of months when we just have a bunch of books laying around and we need to make room. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Just follow Nemesis Prime, Darkside Jedi, and TiVo on Instagram, and we typically post some of the books that we'll have for auction, or leave a comment on something you're looking for.
Yeah, honest to God, if you're looking for anything, Marvel or DC, please.
Yeah, Justin does mystery boxes. Maybe Ryan could do some too. And
I would be happy to if people are interested in it. I can't go hard with the slabs like Justin does, but I can put in some good Some good silver and Bronze
like
Age stuff.
$50 and I'll just throw in like a pile of books. I don't even care anymore.
There you go.
All right, boys and girls, thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Hold on and get some, boys.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 3 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
Laugh it up, fuzzball. In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Hold on and get some, boys.
What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is
What's in the box?